Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our show. We call it Tournament Horse Racing, and it's brought to you by Broke Guys Handicapping. My name is Rich Sharp, and I'll be your host for tonight. And this is how our little tournament works. We're going to we've actually broken the horse racing calendar up into 4 tournaments throughout the year. Each of those tournaments consists of, well, it's approximately 10 racing days, and that's actually what you're watching tonight is one of those racing days, which consists of 4 individual races. Each one of the 4 handicappers is going to go ahead and make a mythical $2 win place bet on each of the horses in each of those 4 races. Whoever wins that race is going to win that racing day. At the end of those 10 racing days, the only thing we're going to measure is who wins the most money. So each of those racing days is measured by who wins the most money. And at the end of that 10 race tournament, that's who wins the most money. That's a little bit about the racing tournament. Let me go ahead and introduce you to our handicappers. And I'm not going to go in any particular order, but just a little bit to my north is my neighbor to the north. He lives in Menifee, California. Stephen Newsom, haven't seen you in a little bit of time. So how you doing, my friend?
Not bad, not bad.
Yep. All right, going to switch over. Just going to come just a little bit to my south, and he lives also here in my neighborhood, Temecula, California. He's one of my oldest friends, and he's also one of our handicappers tonight. Joe English, how's life?
Good, Rich. Hope all you guys are doing well.
Last but not least, I'm going to swing all the way across the country and living in Staten Island, New York, one of our good friends and our last handicapper for the evening. That is Ray Torado. Ray, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, guys. Looking forward to tonight. It's always nice. Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night, always nice to hang out with my friends. All right, so I will go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. We will go ahead and take a look at what happened last week. That's actually what's going to happen this week. And we'll take a look at last week, which was at Saratoga Racetrack. The Whitney was the big race of the day. And as you see there, well, yeah, I got the victory. It's not one of my prouder moments because it really was a chalk-eating weasel kind of day. I did have one, small long shot that finished second, at least in one race. But other than that, it was a matter of just picking up those little nickels and dimes that came with the favorite just about in each and every race. It did amount to $28.20, and that puts the check mark in my name. As you see there, Steve and Ray finished there for second and third. And I will go ahead and again bring up the summary here for quarter number 3. And that was that was our 5th contest on the year. And I've now matched Joe in victories, at least, which is 2 wins. I've said this before, we only use that as a tiebreaker. Once again, we're just trying to figure out who wins the most money. And as you see there, I'm stretching out. I've got a little bit of a lead there on Joe, with Steve right behind Joe, and Ray not too far away. Again, we're only at about the halfway point. There's still a lot of time left in what we call the Summer Stakes series. And without further ado, let's go ahead and turn our attention to the racetrack that we'll be following today. It's got some really familiar names, although they are happening at a completely different racetrack. We are back under the Twin Spires. Joe, thank you for letting me know that this is the only race of this, or the only race day of this meet there at Churchill Downs. We're going to start off in race number 5. They're going 1 1/8 miles on the turf. It is the Beverly D Stakes. It's a grade 1. Purse is $500,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is in post number 4. That is Rougier, trained by Chad Brown and ridden by Manny Franco. 2-1 on the Churchill Downs morning line. And we're going to start all the way out there on the East Coast. Ray, what do you like in the Beverly D?
Beverly D is a 5-horse, short field, very contentious, very evenly matched here. I chose number 3, Princess Grace. She likes to win. She's 7 for 11, and I think in this kind of race, Giroux is gonna have a good position advantage. She's been hitting the lead most of her races at the top of the stretch, so she's gonna get, she has good tackle speed. She's raced a few grade 1s before and come close. So Michael Stinton has his horse ready, and I think after the last race, that nice little winner Parks might have boosted her confidence, and I think she's gonna continue her winning ways. She likes once she wins in the bunches. So hopefully, she'll get that confidence booster for last time and get a good trip. Which is the first time she's going a mile and 8, so I'm hoping she likes the distance. So Princess Grace for me at 3-1.
You're going to go ahead and hand off towards Steve.
Right, Steve?
All right. Well, I went just to the inside of you on the 2 with the Family Way. The Tyler Gaffleone and Brandon Walsh. Good jockey, good trainer. I don't know if they've hooked up for too many wins, but only at 6%. But horses finished first and second quite a bit. It's 4-4-2 on the turf in 15 races. It's gotten some results. 1-0 at Churchill Downs. So I thought I'd get off the favorite and look for a little bit of a price anyway.
All right. And, since you guys haven't heard me talk in a while, let me go ahead and I will hop in here. I thought, by the way, I thought this was an extremely contentious race. If you're going in the pick 5 or anything else, I would imagine this is a good spot to use the all button. I decided to go with the new shooter, the one that we haven't seen before, because I believe a number of these horses, including Princess Grace, including Family Way, we've actually handicapped these horses before on tournament horse racing. So we have seen those. I decided to go outside that box, not reaching too far at 5-2, but this is Aidan O'Brien. That's the best overseas trainer from England. He's got John Velasquez aboard. That ownership group right there, Mr. and Mrs. John Magnier and Michael Tabe, we see that all the time every year at the Breeders' Cup. That's one of the stellar ownership groups. And of course, the sire here is Galileo. And enough said. The horse did win the Kilroy Estate Stakes. It's a grade 2 over there in Ireland at the Carragh. 9 horses in that field, and had won her initial race as well down there in Ireland. I thought moving in from overseas, I do always like that angle. I like a lot more when they're going out west, but this is still a strong one for me. So I went ahead and went with the 5, Lily Pond. Joe.
Rich, I want to make not to start any wars or fights, but Charlie Appleby has a claim to that best trainer over in Europe thing, the way he brings his horses over, as we just saw maybe 7 days ago. So
no argument from me.
Okay, cool. I actually went with Steve's horse. I went with Family Way, and it's not as much. It's a knock on the other horses. I'm not a big Rogier fan. She's just not consistent enough for me. Family Way's tactical speed, and Gaffleone's won like 7 rider titles at Churchill Downs. So if anybody knows this track better than Tyler Gaffleone, I really don't know who it would be. So like I said, I'm kind of staying away from Rogier because, like I said, she's just not consistent enough for me. And Family Way's tactical and has the best rider in the race. So give me Family Way.
Oh, my Pat Day.
I knew there had to be a reason why I went Tyler Gaffleone heavy in this one.
Don't we love Pat Day?
He's won. I mean, like I said, he's won. I don't know. I think the last time they were talking about it on Saratoga Live, I think he's won like 7 riding titles in a row at Churchill. So he at that track, he's just got them. He's just got that place numbered.
He's gonna win the riding title tomorrow too. 4 wins.
Considering it was a 1-day meet, it's very highly possible. It would not surprise. I don't think it would surprise anybody. But I don't know if they're really going to give away a meet championship. But if they do,
4-2 over Giroux.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
For those of you who appreciate more of a full field and better betting odds, I will go ahead and apologize right up front. That is me that is responsible for going ahead and picking out the races that I send out to the gentlemen. I did take all stakes races without realizing that some of these have some pretty short fields. But with that being said, we are going to move along to the next stakes race. That is race number 7. It is the Lady Tax Stakes. The purse is $200,000, and it's for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is in post number 2, Wisconsin, trained by Gregory Foley and ridden by the aforementioned Tyler Gaffleone, is even money favorite here at Churchill Downs. And Steve, you're going to go ahead and get to kick us off.
Yeah, I think this might be the only race I didn't pick Tyler.
No.
Yeah,
I
Leon.
guess.
Oh, really? Wow. Jesus, hang on.
I went with,
Wait a minute. I may need a moment.
I went with the one. Bell's the one on this.
Okay.
Don't know anything about the jockey or the trainer. But the horse is 4-3-1 at Churchill Downs. 7-1-0 at the distance. And it's won a few times. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to get off the favorite again. Had a couple of really nice workouts over the last string of couple of months.
Oh, nice twist. I too went off the favorite. I went way off the favorite, I guess, as far as the parlance for this race would be concerned. I went with joyful cadence. Football season coming up and all. The horse is actually by Run Happy, and it's a 4-year-old. And if you look there, has been, pretty successful. Just these last 5 races with 3 victories, the 1 second and the 1 third. Kind of fits that bill. Kind of came up and then moved into the lower grade 3s, and some of the stakes races. Won that last race by 5 3/4, despite the fact that I had a little bit of trouble. There was a little stumble at the start. So I really felt like I didn't want to take Wisconsin, and I didn't want to take the 1 as Steve did. So I went a little bit outside my comfort zone to my normal one. I do like the fact that John Ortiz and Raylu Gutierrez win at a 29% clip together. So I went ahead and went the 3.
I guess it's on me.
And yeah, that's on you, Joe. I'm sorry.
Okay. No. Well, if you guys didn't take her, I will take Wisconsin. The 3 outside horses, Joyful Cadence, Love Me Some Me, and what was the music something? They all have a lot of speed, and I really think it sets this race up for somebody to come from off the pace. And I like the fact that Wisconsin has more tactical speed than Bell's the one. She's gonna be sitting right behind those 3. And again, Tyler Gaffleone on a horse that's 8 out of 9 in the first or second spots at Churchill Downs, cuts back to a 6 furlong race from 7 furlongs, and she's 3 for 4 at that distance. So yes, I don't like even money, and yes, I would have liked, if there was one less speed horse, I would have liked to take Love Me Some Me or Joyful Cadence, but I just couldn't see myself doing it. So again, give me the favorite and give me Gaffleone, Wisconsin for me. Ray, on you.
Yeah, the 1 and 2 are pretty tough in this race, but I'm gonna try and outrun everybody, and I'm gonna pick Love Me Some Me. I mean, there's a lot of speed in the race, but I think she's the fastest of the fast. So I'm gonna try and just, the race is shorter for her, and hopefully Brian Hernandez can just push her and just run her as fast as she can, and outrun the 3 and the 5 and discourage them, and hold off the 2 closers. So I'll take a shot with Love Me Some Me. Sounds like somebody somewhere, right? But yeah, she has I mean, she seems to be like a little more earlier, faster than the other 2. So I think she might be clear. And coming off the layoff, and even cutting back to 6 furlongs might definitely help her. So I'll take a shot, and she likes Churchill anyway, 3 out of 4. So
Ray, if we're gonna do a show with chariot racing, Rich and Steve won't be involved.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
No, Rich won't be
the
involved.
name rang a bell. So.
No,
I mean, I know they just ran the Hamiltonian last week, but
just
No, I didn't hit that one. Sorry.
type it on the screen.
I hit that one.
50 to 1.
I'm
The
leading
winner
in
was
the
50
show,
to
right?
1. So
I will be leading in the show and putting the money.
I don't know about that. I've been paying
That's-
somewhat of attention to the
No, I'm
Meadowlands.
saying that was $100 horse that one. So.
Oh,
I'm saying,
well, yeah, of course.
$100 would have put me in
Well,
top.
yeah, I know, but most tournaments have like a 20-1 max and 15-1 for place or
Oh,
something like
okay.
that. But still, you'd probably be winning. Yeah, horses at 50-1 at those tracks are
Listen, I was worried about that.
like Haley's Comet.
I was worried about pronouncing the name. Love me some me. I was gonna say love me someone.
Like I said, if I was going to take a speed horse, that's probably the horse I would have taken.
Huh.
I like her a little. Like I said, I just think if one of those speed horses scratch, one of the other two, I mean.
Rich's famous words, wire, right? Steve, Rich, where's the wire?
I agree, and I like the name play there. And what I do love me some.
Mm.
All right, let's move along here. We're going to be at race number 10. This is the Fort Larned Stakes. They're going 1 mile and 3/16 on the main track. Purse is $200,000, which for 3-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is in post number 2, King Fury, trained by Kenneth McPeak and ridden by Julien Leparoux, and he is 2-1 on the Churchill Downs morning line. And yep, I get to call my own number on this one, and I am up first, and I am going right back to that 5 hole. And I like Twilight Blue, trained by my cousin Joe, and ridden by Brian Hernandez. The horse has actually shown some real success here these last few times. Joe and Ray, I thought this race actually looked like it was ripe for the old 3 broke guys angle. It seemed like there were several horses that fit the bill in this particular race, and this was one of them. So he's moving up from the ranks of the impoverished, the optional claiming 150,000 race there at Churchill Downs for non-winners of 2, and moves up to stakes racing. Again, I do like Joe Sharp. Brian Hernandez is a very successful rider there at Churchill Downs. The sire was Air Force Blue. He has been very successful down there in the Florida area and Churchill Downs. He's one of the better sires that you see there, and he's a 4-year-old. So I thought there was a lot to like about Twilight Blue, and I went with the 5. Joe, you're up next.
Well, how do you know that the other Sharp isn't going to run better?
Oh, the other Sharp.
This is from the old Pick 4 show where we would just take both Sharps and we would just move on. Can't do that here.
Well, especially for me, for God's sakes, and things like that, I would take all the Sharps I could get.
Anyway,
2 Sharps.
yeah, there's 2 Sharps, and actually Intrepid Heart's pretty good. But he's not the horse I went with. I went with the 3, Mr. Wireless. And it's funny because this horse is a horse that on one of Rich, again, I'm using Rich's old angles. The horse won 2 derbies, 2 minor derbies last year, West Virginia Derby and the Indiana Derby. And obviously something went wrong in the Oklahoma Derby to the point that he went to the bench. Then he came back in that the same one of the $150,000 optional claiming race and did not run very well. But then in that second race after returning to the races, he ended up winning a $100,000 stakes race at Indiana Grand. Actually, no, now it's called Horseshoe Indiana. Excuse me. I want to make sure I get the name right. But the horse is in better form. Deshaun Parker stays aboard. Brett Calhoun is obviously very capable, 20% win percentage for the year. The horse is 5 for 9. He's got some tactical speed. Hopefully he can avoid a little bit of traffic. So I went with the 3-1, I guess 3-1 second choice would be Mr. Wireless in the Fort Larned. And Ray, it's up to you.
He won a whole bunch of derbies and finished second in the Texas Derby.
Yeah, I didn't even, yeah.
Mr. Derby there.
Well, again, minor derbies.
Yeah.
When you know.
Little one.
Because most of the derbies are either preps or the big race, but those are obviously after.
These are all the post ones.
Late bloomers, they're fine. Late blooming 3-year-olds are pretty good too sometimes, and they run for pretty good pots of money. Right.
All right, I'm gonna take another Joe Sharp horse, Intrepid Heart.
There you go.
Well, since you have Joe, we have Rich Sharp. So can we name this jockey? Ray Newsom. Oh, Tyler. Oh, I'm sorry, Tyler Gafflon.
There you go.
There you go. He'll be leading right at the shaft. Yeah, it's horse. I mean, he's improving. He's coming out of those optional claiming non-winners of blah blah races. He likes Churchill, 5 out of 8 in the money, and he's improving. He's second race off this layoff, a light layoff there, and he prepped here, lost by no. So this race is it's kind of like a slight stake race. Fort Lawn was a great horse, and I hope they put a great type in his name race instead of just being a $200,000 free for all. They should put a grade rank on this because he was a good horse and he earned it. But Intrepid Heart, just improving, got some tackle speed. It should be close, running in the mid pack, and hopefully he'll make the top, top of stretch. He's been second, so he got the speed late in the race, and he had a good late pace last race too, 107. So I think he'll like the distance, and Mono 316 is a long way, so he'll hopefully Gaffleon can pace him and he'll get there. So Intrepid Heart for me. Steve?
Yeah, I'm on the same one. Yeah, taking the other sharp horse, Spike Tappet. Yeah.
He's gray. Easy to catch, easy to see him.
Unless there's another gray in the field.
Yeah, the wrong gray.
Well, there is a track that actually runs one of those.
Oh yeah.
Run all gray,
Uh-huh.
an all gray race, but in this case, he's the only one.
All right.
Yes, you're right. He will be easy to spot. Rich, we're at 32 minutes.
There you go.
I'm telling Ray and Steve right now, on the family call last week, how are the kids? Have you seen Grandpa? Which horse do you like in race number 10 at Churchill Downs? Clearly, you guys weren't on that call. All right, race number 11, and this is the finale for tonight's tournament. They are going 1 1/8 on the turf. Raise a glass for the Arlington Million Stakes. It is a grade 1. The purse is $1 million for 3-year-olds and upward. This is the first year that it hasn't been at Arlington Racetrack. It is here at Churchill Downs, so thank God they kept the track name, or the race name, excuse me. The morning line favorite is in post number 4, and that is Smooth Like Straight. 5-2 on the Churchill Downs morning line, ridden by John Velasquez and trained by Michael McCarthy. And up first, Joe, I saved the Arlington Million specifically for you tonight. Go ahead, man.
Thanks, bud. It's funny. This was a race I had a lot of trouble with. I just couldn't put my finger on it. So my opinion is very weak. If it was pick 4, I'd definitely be using Smooth Like Straight. I went with the 1 set piece. I'm guessing there's nobody happier that this race is at Churchill Downs more than this horse, considering he's won 4 out of 5 times he's been he's raced at Churchill. I think there's enough pace lined up that it set him up for a nice kick. Mega City and Smooth Like Straight, and maybe Santine will be kind of close up. So I think those 3 will be enough. And he's going to at least save ground around the first turn because he's going to, I know it's a long run to the first turn at Churchill, and they can't run the race at 1 1/4 because of the configuration of the surface. But Cox and Giroux, we all know about, and again, the horse is just very prolific at Churchill. 4 out of 5, and he's earned 300, almost half the money he's made at Churchill. So give me the 1 set piece. Again, not a strong opinion. Couldn't really put my finger on much in this race, and didn't want to take the favorite. Just give me the 1. Ray?
Yeah, you're right. This is a tough race. It really is. Yeah, I like Smooth Straight also, John Vasquez, but for the price, Speed Horse, and I'm thinking could not last that long. So I went with Admission Office number 7, 10-1, Brian Hernandez. I liked his last race. He went longer, and he had a higher speed figure, so he ran well. I mean, that was a tough race. with Channel Maker and so those horses in there, Soldier Rising. But I picked him because the race before that he ran in the Arlington Grade 3 race with Churchill, whatever they call that race. But he won, and it was a mile 16, so he surged up, and I think he'll like this distance is right in the middle for him. He's gone longer, he's gone shorter, so he likes Churchill too. He's like 2 wins, two thirds, and he's done well here. And Hernandez knows the track also, so I'll go with admission office at 10-1. Steve?
Yeah, so I went with the 6 Santine. The other again with Tyler Gaffley on the board. Told you I went with 3 of them. Brendan Walsh.
Why not 4?
I didn't want to pick a favorite.
When he sweeps the pick 4, you'll be like,
Right.
It only cost you 50 cents. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, horse has got 3 wins on turf, 1 at the distance. Last time out at Churchill Downs, the horse won. I don't know. We'll see. We get 3-1 odds on him. Again with Tyler Gaffley on the board, we'll see. And then had a nice short 3 furlong workout there.
By the way, that's my horse too. But I'll tell you a funny story just before we go into that. Was our friend Brian at the that asked me at one time if these horses are actually owned by like a Dolphins fan, and I was like, well, why would you ask that? So, well, isn't that the go Dolphins? It's a true story.
Wow. Yeah. Damn.
Rich, now you should have taken a few minutes and dig into why is it named that way. I want that for next week's show.
I, as a matter of fact, I did. So just so you know, I've tried to educate my friends down there. So
I want to know why is it named that?
It's actually named after this. That's the one of the 3 stallions that are known for the thoroughbred breed. So the King of England actually imported. One was an Arabian, and he actually had one of there was an English sire, and I believe the other one was either French or of a German breed. And he had those 3 horses that were his champion. The 2, the English one and the French one is what it was, were his 2 champions and like that. And the Arabian was brought in as the 3rd one, and that actually ended up being like the distance horse. So to be considered a thoroughbred horse, you actually have to trace your lineage all the way back to those 3 horses. The Arabian horse's name was Godolphin.
Yeah. There you go.
See, we all learned something today.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And that royal blue cap, that's very distinguishable. And as if you watch the show, you'll know that I actually do fawn over these horses and the breeding that comes out of
Dolphin,
yeah. So, yeah. 3 for 7 lifetime. 1 for 1 there at Churchill Downs. Does have a victory at this distance and does have 3 victories overall on the turf. Won the, if I'm not mistaken, the Turf Classic, which was here at Churchill Downs. That's on Kentucky Derby Day. Has Tyler Gaffley on. We've been gushing over him all night, so that's probably enough of that. But I went ahead and went with Santine. If I'm not mistaken, this horse knocked me out of a pick 4 one time, so sometimes you have a little bit of a sore spot. It actually may have been on Kentucky Derby Day. Now that I'm looking at it, I believe trying to get back in his good graces. I went with Santine.
Oh yeah. When they beat you,
Yeah,
you miss what the term for that in racing is. You miss the wedding and you'll be there for the funeral.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Just take a
when they
look
beat you at 10-1, and next race they're 1-1.
Well, that's what usually happens. Usually, when they're the big price, the next time they don't go off at the big price, they don't run nearly as well.
Did I get everybody's picks correctly?
Yes, sir.
3,
Rich,
4, 6, 7.
the race third down should be 10, not 2.
Oh,
just so that I'm not,
yeah, I must have
not
typed over
nitpicking.
it. There we go.
It's all good. Maybe your cursor went down instead of over when
Yeah,
you typed the
typed
2
in somebody's,
in
yeah.
my race 7 pick. But yeah, no, you got everything right for me.
All right. But go
We're
ahead
at
and tell me.
40-28.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. All right. I'm coming on back. All right. For those of you who kind of hung in there with us, we appreciate it. That's actually that's how we do the show. It's a weekly tournament. Gave you kind of the updated standings and how that's all working out for us on the night. You guys, before we say goodnight, anybody have anything that they want to share? Anybody want to bring up about the horse racing world or anything about life in general?
Well, next week, Mr. Toronto and I will be in the same room.
Yes.
That's
I
right.
will be jet setting on Thursday afternoon from San Diego to Newark, New Jersey, and we are headed to Saratoga Friday morning.
Nice.
And we'll be there on
We will be
Friday,
there Friday,
Saturday, and
Saturday,
Sunday.
and part of Sunday. And I think Ray and I agreed that on Sunday we're probably going to try and go over to the National Museum of Racing and Hall of
Mhm.
Fame.
Oh God, yeah, you gotta share some photos from that. And you gotta have some stories for us.
So yeah, we're planning on heading over there. I think they're open at 9 to 5, so we can probably head over there before we catch the first few races at Saratoga before we head back to Staten Island. But yeah, other than that, nothing really going on. 4-star Dave tomorrow, Regal Glory, another field of 5.
Hmm.
But
All right, so we're all done. That's how we do it. For Steve Newsom, for Joe English, for Ray Torado, I'm Rich Sharp. Our show's called Tournament Horse Racing. It's brought to you by Broke Guys Handicapping. Good night, everybody, and good luck. Good night, you guys.
good night.
Nice.
Okay, good night.